Does she have a gun grafted onto her arm? What do you mean, Barrett? It's Amy. Okay.
You're always worried?
You need to kick that door down.
Nah.
What the did she just say the F word? So does someone like Hassan support if it isn't Kamala? Why does this mouse have so many problems? I don't know, whoever can't win. You always, if you're a radical, you always have to support people who can't win because you can never ever win because you have nothing left to complain about. The worst thing you could ever do is support somebody that could ever be popular enough to win. So just find whoever it is that has no shot in hell of winning that vaguely resembles your policy positions and support those people. That's it.
I hope what happens to the Palestinian families never happens to your fucking bitch ass family, okay? That's not even what I'm talking about. But his racist ass immediately went, the Palestinians won't win us. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because why would we think that you were talking about Palestinians when you were earlier complaining about a lack of Palestinian speakers and then white supremacy? Why would we think about that? True. What an idiotic chatter. Good ban, Hassan. I hate streamers that fucking ban chatters just for disagreeing with them. That's why this is why we live in a ban-free zone in my chats. I've never banned a chatter. Ever. For lodging a simple disagreement in chat. Ever. Hassan is a fragile child who's fat.
Which she'll fight for every day.
Yeah, of course I'm gonna permaban him.
Of course.
Loser.
True.
The Democrats are so lucky that they're running against a party that has like forgotten how to fucking run for office, okay?
It's kind of hard to talk about this without it being a little weird, but like, so one interesting thing is black culture drives a lot of world culture because by virtue of it being American and by virtue of America having like loud culture, like black culture drives so much stuff, especially in terms of music. It is kind of cool since we have like a black future president, okay, hopefully, that you can capitalize on a lot of the, because like a lot of the black music and the black, like the gospel-y stuff and like like all of that aesthetic is a lot more hype than like the country music aesthetic. No offense to my country music fans out there, but since we have a black lady, we can really capitalize on that. Listen, okay, do you know how expensive nuclear weapons are? If you see a person getting nuked, it's because there is a whole bunch of ISR. That stands for Intel Surveillance and Recon, and they knew it was a bad guy. Even if he doesn't seem like a bad guy, if they're spending that much to go after him, you knew, okay? You know he did some fucked up shit, okay? This is a known bad person, all right? Something was going on here. Something was going on here. You didn't even recognize Beyonce on Time Guesser? Because I already was on Fresh and Fit. Nobody would date Beyonce. She's too old. I would much rather the 19-year-old lady that works at Starbucks because she's nubile and fertile and mobile. I can kick her the fuck out when I'm bringing over a younger, hotter 18-year-old who's more nubile and mobile and fertile. What is the story behind this? Did I spell accidental wrong? Why?
No, Kamala will mention ceasefire.
God, also, I just want to say one more thing, and I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Come with me for 5 seconds, okay? 5 seconds, okay? My black brothers and sisters, all right? I will be racist, okay? Because I do hate minorities, okay? I will be racist again, okay? But just let me be woke for 2 seconds. It is so unfair how perfect black people have to be on a stage this big, that you have Michelle and Barack Obama, that you've got like, they have to be wholesome. They've got to have like as the most perfect lives they can. If I swear to God, if a black man got on stage who was on his like 3rd or 4th fucking marriage, if you could imagine Barack Obama fucking porn stars while his wife was at home with a newborn, bro, it would be a field day. There would be, first of all, there would be mass panic among Republican operatives because they would be like, we are out of a job because the attack ads will write themselves. We don't even need to be hired anymore. Like Barack Obama was like, it would be like, imagine if the grab him by the pussy clip came out for Barack Obama. It would be like, we've just been greenlit for the N-word, sir. we could go all out. Okay, it's over for this motherfucker. It is so crazy. Dan made that comment last night. It's destroying my mind. That Andrew Tate shit is wild. If there was this guy is loved by all the fucking Republican people, the Andrew Tate dude, by like 80% of them. And it's like he's on camera doing a full tutorial on how to scam, rape, and sex traffic little girls. And it's just like, well, not everything he says is bad. There's some good that can be taken out of that, right? Like, are you, what the fuck? Why'd you go so baby gloves on the Harvard PhD guy? I got on your behalf. It's hard to communicate to somebody why. It's hard to communicate in the middle of the debate why you can't just use a couple quotes to prove something. And when I start to explain that, it just sounds like a quote. So I tune out of the conversation. I stop caring. It's just hard to. It's irritating to like. Well, here's 2 quotes, and it's like, okay, well, fuck me. Like, what the fuck do you want me to say? Like, here's a quote. Somebody suggested maybe I should just find the opposite quotes. It's like, okay, well, what about this quote when they said, "Oh, well, we could live with the Arabs peacefully." Now what? It's just retarded. You should have an analogy for that ready. Well, I would imagine the counter would be, okay, well, fine. You've got all these quotes that say this thing. Okay, well, let's look at the actual historical record. Let's look at the actions. Why did they agree to this agreement? But then they hit you up with the, well, actually. They didn't mean it. Oh, fuck. Well, fuck me. Fuck me, fam. Fuck me. Fuck me. Fuck me. Fuck me. What was I thinking? Of course, it was a fake agreement that they'd said in front of the whole world. Why didn't I think of that? Then you know what the Arabs should have done. It's funny because I forgot all their names. Ben-Ami even calls this out in his book. He says the Arabs should have just called the Israeli bluff because some of them might have been fake agreement. The Israelis might have said some things knowing that the Arabs would say no out of hand, right? I don't know if in Lausanne, I don't know if Israel would have actually accepted 100 to 200,000 Palestinian refugees. I'm not sure. That could be like the day one peace offering that Hamas made after October 7th, where they're like, okay, can we peace? Because there's still people like in your country that we need to like extract. You know, not that they would give a fuck about extracting them, but then the Arabs should have called their bluff. The Arabs should have been like, okay, fine, 200,000 Arabs, fucking A, dude. All right, take it. We're chill, and let's see what the Jews do next. But the Arabs couldn't do politics. I don't know why. I don't know enough about. I don't know enough about the history to know why. My guess is just when you've been that dominant in like a huge empire for so long, and other people have ran your. Well, because I guess for a long time, technically the Turks ran politics for the Arabs, right? Because they were kind of the ones in charge of at least the Ottoman Empire, right? So maybe I don't know. Maybe they forgot. Politicking was a lost art. Is the Sam Harris convo streamed or a podcast? Don't ask about it. I don't know when it's coming out. I'm supposed to talk today at 3. And they were making me drive to a studio. I don't know why. I said I could record at home. And they were like, we prefer our people go to a studio. So I've got to drive 12 minutes. Okay, fuck me. And then it'll probably be released in 7 years, since that's what everybody's timetable is like. Also, I've never had anybody... That guy, he did the best appeal to authority. I've never had somebody do this before. Usually, when people say they're a doctor, usually they're faking being a doctor so they can say some bullshit medical stuff, but they have like a PhD in English. This guy was an MD who was using his doctor as a physician to fake having a PhD in history. Who does that? Because he says he has like a PhD in history. He says PhD in history or whatever. And that's why I said in the video, I was like, hold on, why you call yourself a doctor? You're not done with you haven't defended your thesis yet, though. And he's like, oh, well, I'm a medical doctor. It's like, well, okay, sure, but like, that's kind of disingenuous, all right? If you were in a hall full of history students and a guy really needed help defending his history thesis, and he says, is anyone here a doctor? He's not looking for you, loser, okay? Wasn't it religious something? Well, it was a PhD in religious studies, which I imagine might have some overlap with history. Who knows? But yeah, one of his citations were to Chomsky as an expert in Israel Palestine. Bro, I don't even know if Chomsky would cite himself as an expert there. In fact, I'm willing to bet that if we were to go and find that book, Chomsky was probably citing somebody else. That'd be my guess. I don't think he's done any original research or anything. He weaseled on the Dhimmi second class stuff. there's a whole world of like arguments over how bad the dhimmi status was, and I've seen it on both extremes. I've seen all the way from actually being a dhimmi was based because you don't have to serve in the military. Your jizya, okay, which is the tax you pay, was only 15%, which was the same or less than what the ordinary citizens paid, and you got your own protected area. Awesome. That's like one version of dhimmi status I've read. And then the second version was dhimmi status was humiliating and terrible because anytime you were in a non-dhimmi protected area, like for instance, I think there were rules. I haven't studied this in depth, so this is all 10% confidence, okay? But like if you weren't allowed to ever ride a camel, okay? So you had to walk or ride donkeys because you were a loser, I guess. If you walked in front of like mosques, I think you had to like take your sandals off. You might have had to. Did you have to crawl past, or you couldn't make eye contact with Muslims? There was a whole bunch of like cringe rules, supposedly. So I've heard both ends. I don't know how bad or how good it was, you know, but it's probably very complicated because Jews were second class in Europe too, so it probably varied throughout time. Yeah, but it was different because Europe acknowledges that Jews were second class, and they kind of holocausted them. So they're like, yeah, we kind of fucked you guys over. But like Arabs today, you talk to them, and they're like, oh, Arabs and Jews? Let me tell you, there's never been a longer friendship in history than that of the Arab and the Jew. When the Jews were persecuted in Europe, they came to us and we welcomed them with open arms. We protected them with dhimmi status. We didn't let other people hurt them. We were the best friend of the Jew when we were so friendly with them. So many of them became Muslim, coincidentally, in a video game. But anyway, yeah.
Please, thank you so very much. Thank
Why am I so much louder than the video?
Thank you, everyone.
Because
Thank
Hassan's
you.
stream volume is quiet. Because you guys are weird. You guys are very queer. And I mean that not in the sexually insulting sense, but in the, you guys are, look, go watch this video. You guys are the most weird audio f***ing losers on the internet. Every other thing I watch, this is so quiet. And you guys are telling me I'm too quiet. Okay. There's probably still people that say I'm too quiet. I think it's a bot network. I think that there's a lot of you guys that are plugged into some crazy bot network, and it's like every single year we're going to get Destiny to bump his stream volume by like 2 decibel, okay? You're literally doing the Dwight quarters in the phone prank to me. And now, here we are in 2024. I probably have the loudest fucking stream on the internet. And you guys are like, we can barely fucking hear you, dude. We can barely fucking hear you. And then I go and listen to this shit, and it's like there's no volume. This is maxed. This volume is maxed out, and I can barely hear this guy. They're like related brothers, right? I think I get this one. I think you have to give me this one. You have to give me this one. I think so. Hold on, we're pulling this one. We're pulling this one. They could absolutely be brothers. Brothers? Question mark? Yes. Fuck you guys. 30%. You guys just do this shit to troll me, okay? You do this shit to troll me. He's much closer to Tom Hanks? What? What are you talking about? You know what? 35%. I'll take it.
To our President Joe Biden.
Why did they... Destiny's working the cameras. I think that's Joe. That's Joe and Jill, right? I don't want to do the weird, no creepy sexual comments or whatever, okay? The one picture of her was really bad. This is the one that Haninia, is that his name? Richard was saying, look, she looks very nice. This is a really well put together. This is nice. Damn, he did her real dirty with that one with the still on the video. He did her super dirty.
He made her president.
And to Coach Chip.
Oh, Kamala's president already? Awesome. Nice. When Hassan is doing his homework, he doesn't have to figure out his own talking points. He just steal them from conservatives. Yes. King. This guy is like a vibe Gandhi. He's just, God, he's such good vibes. He's such a good, Walls is the kind of guy where there's a tragedy and he's like a hardcore atheist, but he still leads the group in prayer. He's just like, I don't know why, he's just got these unbelievably transcendent vibes.
And to the delegates and everyone who has put your faith in our campaign.
Walls is the kind of guy who comes back from war with a bastard child. That's not even his bastard, but he covers for the child because he knows that if the kingdom found out the truth of where they came from, the child would be killed.
Your support is humbling. So, America, the path that led me here in recent weeks was no doubt unexpected. But I'm no stranger to unlikely journeys. So, my mother, our mother, Shamala Harris, had one of her own. And I miss her every day, and especially right now. And I know she's looking down smiling. I know that. So my mother was 19 when she crossed the world alone, traveling from India.
Sorry, fuck. She brought up her mom. Text your mom. Tell your moms. We're pausing right now. Tell your moms you love them, okay? Hold on.
To California with an unshakable dream to be the scientist who would cure breast cancer.
My mom might think it's my special goodbye message if I say that out of the blue. What have you made her? Jesus Christ. Jesus. We don't need you bringing down the energy of chat like that, actually, okay? That was wholly inappropriate. We don't need you bringing down our vibes. Wait, does anybody have the, who was the Twitch streamer where that happened? Oh, it was this.
And it's chef's in Spanish, and it's chef's kiss. All right.
I think it was this.
Curvy, where the fuck have you been? Oh my God. Well, tell you what, Miss Dirty Curvy, you know what we're not going to do? We're not going to talk about it in my chat.
He was like, "Where have you been?" And the guy was like, "I think his mom died or something." It was something depressing. And he was like, "Bro."
Dirty Curvy, you know what we're not going to do?
He didn't understand. It was like when you asked me, like, "Hey, dude, what's up? How's it going?" And the guy's like, "It's actually going really bad right now. I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of considering killing myself." And you're like, "Bro, I was just asking that. It's like a formality. I don't actually give a fuck. You're supposed to say, 'Oh, I'm doing great. How are you?' And then we just go on with our day. Why the fuck would you answer that with sincerity? Are you fucking retarded? You should."
We're not going to talk about it in my chat because it's Friday, and that is a whole big bucket of bummer. And I'm sorry.
Bucket of bummer, bro. That's a Monday message. That's a Monday message. You shouldn't be telling me you're sad your mom is dead. For Friday, you should be telling me how much fun you had at the funeral, bro.
And I'm sorry for your loss, but we're not doing that in my fucking chat.
God, if I ever use phrases like bucket of bummer, oh my God. Oh no.
Thank you. Well, okay, Miss Dirty Curvy, you said, no, that's fine. You asked, so I told. No, I didn't ask you to tell me the biggest fucking bummer news in the world. I said, hey, what's up? How are you? You know what? Let me give you a little bit of a lesson, Miss Nerdy Curvy. When something really, really bad is going on in your life, and in a public forum, someone asks you, hey, what's up? How are you? There are two acceptable responses. Good, and you know what? I'll make it through. That's it. How are you? Good, or you know what? I'll make it through. Awesome. Love to hear it. See, there you go. Or Prom's response. Yeah, I said, Prom, how are you doing? She says, I'm alive. There you go. Oh, I asked you where you were. Look, Mr. Curvy, I'm just subtly trying to tell you that
Subtly.
unloading really heavy news in people's chats on Twitch is not like good etiquette. It's not the place to do it. That's all I'm trying to tell you. That's it. I figured this is a good opportunity to inform you.
He is right. He is correct. He's just saying it in the most autistic way possible. Because then it should be like stream reception. Or I guess it is stream reception right now. Hey, buddy, when somebody says something that's over the top and real awkward, what you should say is, wow, your mom died? That's pretty heavy. I'm really sorry for you, though. I hope you're doing better. And then if you want, you can chastise them later. Okay, you can email them or type in chat like, hey, that was pretty heavy for chat, okay? Chill. He is correct, though.
Your mom died? Damn, it's a shame it wasn't you.
Damn.
Anyway, she was a wonderful woman. Thanks, Panther Piss. I'm just messing around. But it was unnecessary for you to share that worthless comment with us. And everything I said in response to the comment was
Who do you think has more to lose during the debate on September 10th? Do you think a second debate should happen or just the one? I feel like the Dems have more to lose right now. But if Kamala does really well in that debate, that's going to be brutal for the Trump campaign. But they're definitely really far ahead, or it feels like at least they're really far ahead right now. But I mean, the polling is still pretty close. It's not like she's like annihilating Trump in the polls in any of the swing states or anything. But do you think it's good that Kamala's leaning so hard on feminism? Don't you think most voters would be past that at this point and just find it grating? Absolutely not. I think that things relating to like women's involvement in society is a really big deal right now. Women are half the population. Well, isn't it like 52%? Women are a big chunk of the population. They're a big chunk of your voter base. And abortion is a huge issue for why people are going to be like motivated to vote in the upcoming election. So leaning into issues like this is probably really important. Like, why do people care so much about Kamala being Indian? The exact same people. This is all you need to know. There are very few times on the stream where I say just absolute fundamental truths of like the shape, the contours of reality. This is one of those times. Every single person who says that Kamala Harris isn't really black, she's Indian, would probably make a joke calling her the N-word. So it's a delusional talking point from the right to, I don't even know what the goal is. That like I don't even know what the end game is there. It's just the most like desperate pearl clutching attempt to try to attack her on some like retardedly stupid point. They are saying that she plays whatever side benefits her in the instance. I mean, like, even if I were to agree that she does that, that's not even like necessarily a bad thing. Like different parts of your background will come up depending upon what you're talking about, right? Like if I were to meet friends that were one thing I didn't realize, I went to some libertarian conference. I actually made a few friends that I still have to this day a long time ago. I didn't realize how common it was that Cubans there's a lot of Cubans in Florida, or how common the HaiseKia experiences were. I didn't know that was like a super common Cuban thing. I think it was like the first time in my life, like 3 years ago. I met a bunch of Cubans at like a libertarian conference, and it was just funny sharing stories from this area. But like, if you were to hear me talking about that, we'd be like, oh, so now you're going to pretend to be Cuban because there's other Cubans around? It's like, well, no. But I mean, like, this is what's coming up now. Or if I were to talk about like stupid things that like boring white middle class families, it's like, oh, so now you're white today? Like, well, no, it's just this is the context of the conversation, right? Unless you've got video of somebody talking to Kamala and she's like, I'm not black. I would never be black. I'm Indian. I'm proud of it. Fuck the blacks. Like, unless you've got video footage like that, what the fuck is even the attack? You talk about different things in your background depending upon like what the context is. Like, it's so stupid. So what character attack could the conservatives make against her that isn't sexist, racist, weird, misogynistic, etc.? It sounds like she has the perfect armor. She has the perfect armor? By being black and a woman? Like, those are the only two things you can consider? What do you mean? The problem is, here's the real problem that you have right now, if you're a conservative, is that right now, the Democratic candidates are just better humans. They are better people, objectively. Like, if everybody were to die and you were before the pearly gates and St. Peter has to decide who's going into heaven or who's going into hell, the Republican candidates are fucked, right? You've got Joe Biden, all right, who the Republicans try to shame by showing, what is the... Where they try and blow up Joe Biden over leaked texts between him and his son?
Can I get some help? I don't know what to do. It's Dad. I called to tell you I love you. I love you more than the whole world, pal. Can I get some help? I don't know what to do. I know you don't either. But I'm here, no matter what you need. No matter what you need, I love you.
It's got to be. It's like one of the most. Thankfully, my kid's not addicted to drugs yet. Watching other parents do this, probably one of the most frustrating, not humiliating, like disempowering, hopeless feelings you can have is to have an adult child that's struggling in life, because you can't do anything as a parent. You can't control them. You can't forcibly like you're grounded. You're not going out. You can't do anything but stand by and watch your child basically suffer. There's nothing you can do as a parent. It is the most helpless feeling and hopeless and horrible feeling that you can have. But like everything that's leaked about Joe Biden and Hunter just shows Joe being like, I feel like I've read these before. The only focus is recovery, nothing else. Your girls are so smart, truly amazing, very focused. Naomi, very upset with Kay. When you feel positive, my text. Okay. Let me know who you are. Can I come see you? Need to talk about 2020 announcement and what you think. I love you, Dad. Like, everything that's ever leaked about Joe Biden just makes him seem like a nice guy and a super loving dad. And then I don't think there's anything crazy in Kamala Harris's background. So then what happens is, and then you have to compare this to Donald Trump, who, no offense, seems kind of like he's funny, but he's kind of like he's not a very good person. He's just not. I'm sorry, but he's not. He seems like very egocentric, very self-driven, very little loyalty to family or friends. Bad business partner. A lot of people that worked with him like disavow him. Don't want to work with him again. Like, he's just not a good person. So yeah, so when you're stuck in that area and you're like, well, what character attacks can we make, right? You don't really have much in your basket to go for. Like,
As Commander-in-Chief, I will ensure America always has the strongest, most lethal fighting force in the world.
What the fuck? Yo.
And I will fulfill our sacred obligation to care for our troops and their families, and I will always honor and never disparage their service and their sacrifice.
it's also insane. I don't know how intentional this is, but it is insane that the Democrats have been able to come in and sweep up what, in my mind, were the strongest Republican talking points. The support for small businesses, the patriotism, go USA, stuff about like the military and support of U.S. troops, white people. Like the fact that the Democrats are able to come in and just like gobble up all these talking points while Trump is just like seething in the corner. Oof. Like they've capitalized on this really well, I think.
Bro, what? Yo, she's crazy.
What do Republicans stand for now? Like, it's hard to talk about it honestly because I just sound like a shill or unhinged or whatever because Republicans have been so good at controlling it. But it's just a party of hateful people right now. It's just a deplorable basket of people that are just filled with hate and rage and seethe, and that's it. There's nothing positive about any of these people. They don't have a positive view of the country. They hate the country. They hate the Democrats. They hate the rest of the world. They're just filled with hatred. That's all they have. Partially because Trump hasn't been positive at all for the past 4 years. All he's talked about is how the election was stolen from him and the deep state is out to get him. But I mean, like, think about it, right? Think about it. If you live in a world where you feel like Fauci and the FDA are poisoning your food, the water has fluoride in it because the government's trying to turn the frogs in you gay, the military and all the intelligence agencies are just there to fuck you over and to spy on you and to do horrible things. Our biggest allies, like Israel, are just people that we ship our pedophiles off to after they've raped and murdered people. The courts and everything are rigged against people, your brave heroes like Donald Trump and the brave grandmas that walk through the Capitol. Every single large and major institution has been controlled and rotted from the inside by deep state operatives. The border is left open intentionally so that Chinese and MS-13 immigrants can flood in and take over. People like Donald Trump are constantly backstabbed at every single point and turn by either Democrats, by rhinos, by other people that are getting like every single thing in the world is out to get you, right? You're a crazy person. You're an insane person. Like, imagine if you look at, like, it's a stupid question. Looking at a Republican and saying, like, damn, what's this guy's problem? It's like looking at a paranoid schizophrenic and being like, dude, what's wrong? What the is wrong with you? And the paranoid schizophrenic is like, bro, what do you mean, what's wrong with me? There's a drone out there that's got like a 700x magnification lens on me that's watching my every single fucking movement. I know that there are people in my computer that are monitoring all of my online activities. Every single time I go outside, every single person that's looking at me is probably reporting on my every location and all my whereabouts, right? But the difference is Republicans actually think this without the mental illness. They just believe these things to be true. Without mental illness. So yeah, of course they're fucking insane. Yeah, I mean, what like, yeah.
What is happening?
That we lead the world into the future on space and artificial intelligence, that America, not China, wins the competition for the...
She was like, I'm going to make sure.
Leadership.
I'm going to be real fucking crazy about the military.
To abandon nature. He encouraged Putin to invade our allies.
Oh my God.
These types of talking points are also really important because the rest of the United States sees America as having schizophrenic foreign policy. Again, There are Ukrainian soldiers that are sitting in ditches watching Twitter, wondering like, are we getting aid or not? As Trump like sinks legislation to win a re-election. Or they're like everyone around the world is like, well, what the fuck is America gonna do? Because everybody kind of follows our lead on shit. And there's like everybody in the world is like, well, I don't know what the I don't know who the knows, right? I think Angela Merkel said it right after Trump was elected that America can't be seen as a reliable leader of the world anymore. What did she say? We grew up in the certain knowledge that the United States wanted to be a world power. Should the U.S. now wish to withdraw from that role of its own free will, we would have to reflect on that very deeply. Yeah, like the whole world doesn't know. We can't rely on the superpower of the United States. Be careful.
Oh my God, she's doing the NATO speech. Oh my God, she's doing the NATO speech. Oh my God. Oh my God.
5 days before Russia attacked Ukraine, I met with President Zelensky to warn him about Russia's plan to invade. I helped mobilize a global response over 50 countries to defend against Putin's aggression. And as president, I will stand strong with Ukraine and our NATO allies. With respect to the war in Gaza, President Biden and I are...
Oh no, Hassan's about to lose his mind. No matter what she says, it won't be good enough. Even if she says ceasefire, it's not going to be good enough.
working around the clock, because now is the time to get a hostage deal and a ceasefire deal done.
Nope, hold on. What's the line of attack here? If you really wanted a ceasefire, why wouldn't you bring up the Palestinians to talk about it? Or when she says ceasefire, she doesn't mean it. Or when they say ceasefire, they mean how Netanyahu wants a ceasefire. Or if you want it so bad, why hasn't it happened yet? Let's see what we get.
I'm out. I'm tapped.
I thought this is what you wanted to hear. This is what I mean also when I say lefties never want to win. It's just not, it's not enough because as soon as you win, you've got nothing left to complain about. Remember, at the end of the day, complaining should be with the goal of motivating some sort of political change. That's why you complain. That's why you agitate. That's why you are an activist. That's because you're trying to get people to change their opinions politically. But when you're like a